Hello everyone, welcome to the class today. Hope that you've had a really nice weekend and managed to be outside in the lovely sunshine. We've had so much of it lately, it does make you feel so good. Thank you so much for your messages and thank you so much for your really kind donations. So the class today, we're going to be looking at how we can move the joints a lot more in the practice. So it's going to be a nice overall movements for the joints, so the shoulders, the knees, the hips, the ankles, the wrists. We all get those points in our life where we feel sometimes a bit stiff, especially in the morning. We might have slept awkward, or there might be a particular thing that you've been doing lately that's made you feel a little bit stiff. So hopefully this sequence will help to bring some more freedom in the joints. And I would say, if you can feel quite good in the body, then it does have a really overall effect in the mind and how we feel. So hopefully that's going to bring a really good positive effect into us. So for today's practice, we don't need a bell. If you want a blanket that's going to protect your knees, you can have that. If you need a block or a brick to sit on as well, then that will work out great. So we'll start off lying down on the floor. So just take your time, coming all the way down and just making sure that you feel comfortable. And as we come down to the floor, we're just going to really start to take our focus into the body and just be aware of how we're feeling. Sometimes we don't honour this time during our normal everyday life just to notice how we're feeling. So just be aware without judging of just simply how your body feels right now. It might feel very different from day to day. Let your shoulders soften. Let your back start to really release and feel that support of what's underneath you. Allowing your spine really just to spread and relax and be totally supported. Let your face soften. And take a moment just to start to be aware of the breath. Beginning to feel this slowing down, this allowing our focus to move inwards. Start to become aware of the rise and fall of your breath. And just being patient with yourself. Knowing that if your mind is elsewhere or if your focus keeps going to something else, that's absolutely fine. It's normal that we do this. We're human beings. So it's a thing that we do. But with our yoga, with our breathing, we gradually start to increase that focus even more. And then we're just going to start to take a moment just to be really aware of your shoulders right now. Without judging, start to notice how the shoulders are feeling. And as you breathe in, take your visualization to your shoulders. And as you breathe out, without moving, just see if you can soften them a little bit more. So take a nice full breath. Take your visualization into your shoulders. And then breathing out, just see if you can soften a little bit more. Do that one more time. Breathing in, just focus on your shoulders. And breathing out, just soften and release a bit more. We're going to take our focus down a little bit further, so down into the wrists. So as we breathe in, just become aware of the hands and the wrists. And as you breathe out, just see if you can soften that area a little bit more. So breathing in, just focus on your wrists, maybe hands, fingers. And breathing out, just encourage them to soften and release more. One more time. Breathing in, focus on your hands and your wrists. And breathing out, soften and release. Move into our knees as we breathe in. Take a nice focus into how the knees are feeling. And soften and release. Just allow them just to relax a bit more. Inhale, take a focus Bringing visualisation to space around the knees. And exhale, can you soften and release any tightness? One more time, inhale, full awareness into your knees. And exhale, soften and release. We're going to take our focus into the hips now. So as we breathe in, take your awareness to your hip joints. And exhale, soften and release. So nice full breath, bring your awareness without judging, but awareness into the hips. And exhale, can you soften and release a bit more? Do one more time, full in breath, focus on your hips. And exhale, soften and release a bit more. Last visualization is we're going to move down to your ankles. So as you breathe in, focus on what the ankles are feeling like today. And exhale, see if you can soften the skin, soften any tightness. Inhaling, breathing, space, visualising it in the ankles. And breathing out, softening and releasing. One more full breath, visualise that movement, that breath going into the ankles. And then exhale, soften and release. Going to have a really nice stretch out from here. So stretch the legs, stretch the arms. So visualisation like that is really good to do. It can be a form of self-healing. The mind is really powerful. So if you do feel tightness or sometimes pain around that area, you can use focus, you can use breath to encourage more release. You're going to just make some circles with your wrists from here and then point and flex the feet. It's actually quite hard to do that at the same time, isn't it? So just relax the hands and then point and flex the feet from here. Just gently drop the legs out, ankles out to the side, maybe just gently roll them in. Do that a couple more times. And then bringing the arms down by the side to the body. We're going to bend our legs, take your feet as wide as your mat from here. And we're going to work with our flowing twist movement. So a lot of the movements today are just about trying to encourage more space in the joints. Arms out to a T shape or bending the arms. Inhale as we breathe out, knees drop to the right, head turns to the left. Inhale, we gather everything back with the head and the knees back to the centre. And then breathing out over to that left side, head to the right. So working with your breath, inhale to the centre, breathing out to the right. Inhale to the centre, breathing out to the left. Continue to do that, inhale to the centre, breathing out to the right. Inhale to the centre, breathing out to the left. Last couple more, inhale to the centre, breathing out to the right. Inhale to the centre, breathing out to the left. Coming back to the centre, we'll take your knees in towards the chest. Just gently rocking from side to side. Just give the back a bit of attention while we're here. Draw the knees in towards the chest and you can make some circles from here with your ankles. And then circling out in that other direction from here. And then we're going to cross our ankles from here. Our hands are going to be on the knees. And you're going to just start to circle in this lovely movement from here. So you're drawing your knees towards you. Releasing on the spine as you start to draw some really nice circles. And just finish off a couple more on this side. Try and stay focused without judging. Maybe you notice where you feel particularly tight today. And circling in that other direction from here. Getting a really nice release. And then allowing ourselves to release your ankles. So taking again your knees in towards the chest. We'll cup the knees. Going to open the knees out to the side. Press the knees away. Drawing them in and drawing them back in towards the chest. So we're drawing nice big circles again. And try and let your legs, let your hips relax, let your arms do all that work from here. Really take your focus down into your hips. Noticing maybe one feels a little bit tighter than the other. Absolutely natural that will happen. And then circling in that other direction. Really let your legs, let them really relax from here as we start to take that in that other direction. Just a few more breaths. And then coming back to the centre. Going to take your legs bent to the floor, and then we're going to extend out with your legs. We're going to bend your right leg, and we're going to come into a half version, not half version, it's going to be a supine version of tree pose, a balance pose, but on the floor. So you're going to drop the sole of the foot in towards that left leg. You can take it further down if you need to. And then we're going to allow ourselves to inhale. You're going to take the arms behind you. And then breathing out, bring them down by the sides of the body. And we're going to work this with the breath. Inhale, lifting, the back of the hands can come to the floor. Breathing out, bring the arms down by the sides of the body, draw into the navel. So another time, inhale to lift. You can let your chest open from here. Breathing out, down by the sides of the body. You're going to open up this time, so let your back of the hands come behind you again. Make your left foot active, draw into the navel. Really feel your right hip just releasing. Feel that right knee dropping down towards the earth. Imagine that you were standing, really nice opening for that right side. And then relax, let your arms come back down, and then we'll swap over legs. So your right leg is extended, your left leg is bent. We're dropping your sole of the foot in towards that right inside of the leg. Not on the knee, you can take it higher up or lower down. So we're going to take a nice inhale, we'll take the arms behind, nice opening up into the chest. And then breathing out, bring your arms down by the sides of the body. Inhale to open up from here. And then breathing out, arms down, draw your navel in. Do a couple more. Inhale to lift. And exhale, arms down. Taking your inhale, we'll stay lifted with the arms behind us from here. If you can, make your right foot active. Draw into the navel. Focus on your left side of the hip. Can you use long, slow breaths from here and use your exhale to release a little bit more into that left side. So feeling a bit more space that we're creating through that hip joint. And then slowly release the arms. You can support the leg and you can draw that knee back up. Knees in towards the chest. Have a quick release off the back from here. You're going to take your hands behind the back of the legs. Let your legs lift. Have a really nice stretch with the legs. And we'll point your toes and then draw your toes back towards you. So point your toes, draw your toes towards you. Point your toes and draw your toes towards you. You're going to hold it here. If you're able to, you can take your hands down by the sides of the body. Any back issues, keep supporting your legs. Keep your legs still, and we're going to circle out in your ankles now. Nice circle movements, keeping your legs lovely and still. And can you let your mind just focus on your ankles, feeling that you're allowing more space, more freedom in the ankle joints. Circling in the other direction from here. Nice long, slow breaths. Good, and then releasing, knees in towards the chest. Releasing the legs. We're going to extend out with the legs, or keep your legs bent if you're going to feel it in your back. So you're going to inhale, we're going to raise the arms behind us, nice stretch. And as you breathe out, draw your right knee in towards the chest, hold around that shin and draw it towards you. Going to keep the head down for this one. Inhale, take the arms away, lengthen out with the right leg. Exhale, draw your left knee towards you. So carry on with your breath. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, right knee draws towards you. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, drawing that left knee towards you. Inhale to raise the arms. Exhale, right knee in, and we're going to hold that right knee in this time. So take a moment just to really focus on that hip joint. Going to move it into a twist. If you do need to bend the legs, do a twist with your both feet on the floor, then just move into that. If you're doing this one, left hand comes across that right knee. Right arm extends out, or you can cactus the arms. You're going to draw that knee across the body, and then allowing your head to slowly turn towards that right side. And use your breath to release a bit more. Notice what that feels like on your back, around the hips, around that right knee. You're going to hold it here for a couple more breaths. And then slowly coming back to the centre. And then we'll extend out with your left leg. We're going to raise the arms, take the arms behind again. And then exhale, draw your left knee in towards the chest and hold it there for a few breaths. As much as you can, you're not forcing, you're encouraging that knee to just gently move towards you. And then we're going to move into our twist. So your left hand's going to come to the outside of that, right hand's going to come to the outside of that left knee. Left arm's going to come out to the side. You're going to draw that knee across the body. You can turn your head towards that left side. Use your breath to breathe into any tightness, any areas that need a bit of extra attention. Use your breath. The breath and your power of visualization is ever so powerful. Couple more breaths. And then bring your heads back, bringing your knees back. Bring both knees in towards the chest. Gentle rock from side to side. And then we'll just finish off a couple of movements on the floor with our floating bridge. So feet to the floor, arms down by the sides of the body. Going to press into the feet. Going to inhale, lift your hips up. Keep the arms down for the first couple. And then breathing out, releasing your spine back down. Inhale, we're just lifting up our hips, spine lifts away. And then breathing out, releasing down. This time we can add our arms. So inhale, lifting up. We're going to raise the arms behind you if it works. And then breathing out, releasing. Start to bring your arms back down as well. We'll do two more. Inhale to lift up. And exhale leads us all the way back down. Last one, inhale to lift up. From here, we're going to hold it here for a few more breaths. Let the arms come more to a V shape. So you can really think about softening, relaxing your shoulders. Feel the legs are supporting you. Legs are strong. Ankles are strong. They're supporting you. And then breathing out, releasing down, bringing the arms all the way back down. Hug the knees one more time in towards the chest. Gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling over, coming all the way over to one side. And then coming all the way to seated from here. And take a moment just to find a comfortable seated position that you can sit to enable your spine to be nice and comfortable from here. Going to take a nice inhale, lifting up the arms from here. And then breathing out, bring your arms down by the sides of the body. Do two more. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, bringing the arms back and down. Do one more. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, bringing the arms back down. This time you're going to interlock the fingers, going to take a nice inhale, press the arms away, lifting up, drawing into the navel. And then breathing out, releasing the arms, interlocking into your hands, lifting the chest. Releasing the hands, you're going to inhale, open up your chest, you can look up towards the sky. And then breathing out, drawing into the navel, gazing down. You're going to use your inhale to come all the way back up. And we'll find that one more time. So interlocking the fingers, going to take a nice breath as we lift up from here. And breathing out, releasing the hands, interlocking the hands from here. You're going to release the hands as you inhale, lifting up the chest, you can look up. And then breathing out, rounding over, drawing into the navel. Use your inhale to come all the way back to the centre. Your right hand comes down. We're going to inhale, lifting up that arm. And as you breathe out, we're going to bend that bottom arm. We're going to take that arm up and over. It can be straight or it can be bent. Inhale to lift all the way back up. And then breathing out over towards that left side for a nice side bend stretch. Go one more either side. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale over towards that right side. Inhale to lift up. And exhale over towards that left side. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Bring your palms together. And exhale, bringing your hands down towards the chest. Give your legs a nice stretch out from here. And I'm just going to work a nice twist. So legs are extended. You're going to bring your left hand to the outside of that right leg. Your right hand's going to come behind. You're going to sit up as you inhale. And as you breathe out, easing into that twist, try and soften your back shoulder down. Take a couple of breaths from here. And then inhaling, coming back to the centre. Take another full breath from here. And then as you breathe out, we'll go that opposite side. So twisting towards that left side from here. Just a couple of breaths, soften your back shoulder. And then inhaling, coming all the way back up. You're going to bend your legs from here. You're going to drop your knees over to one side. And then move all the way into your all fours position. Nice spread hands. So we're starting to work our wrists. You're going to inhale, lifting your tailbone, lift the front of the body, lifting the head, gazing up. And then breathing out, rounding over, drawing into the navel. Inhale, lifting your tailbone, looking up. And then exhale, rounding over, draw into the navel. One more time, inhale to lift up. Exhale, rounding over. It's going to change it slightly. It's going to inhale to lift up. Exhale, rounding over, draw some weight back towards your heels. Coming forward, inhale to lift up. Exhale, rounding over, drawing some weight back towards your heels. One more time, inhale to come forward. And then exhale, rounding over, and we'll sink back into your child's pose. So take a moment just to rest from here. Just finding some stillness in our child's pose. Just starting to feel what's stretching out while you're in this pose and what's being able to soften and relax from here. And then coming all the way back to the all fours. So at this point, if you're going to feel it on your knees, you're going to pad your knees from here. We're going to lift up your right leg. You're going to lengthen that right leg away. Give it a good stretch. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend that knee. Draw that knee through and round overhead towards the knee. So you're going to inhale to lengthen away. The arms are going to stay down for this one. Then exhale, draw that knee as you round through. Inhale, lifting, lengthening, chest opens. And then exhale, rounding over, head towards the knee. Taking that knee back down, have a quick release off the wrists if you're feeling it today. We'll move into the left side. So inhale, that left leg lengthens away from us. Exhale, bending that knee, draw that knee, rounding head towards the knee. So inhale, lengthen that leg away from us. And exhale, knee draws through as we round over. Do one more, inhale to lengthen that leg away. And exhale, rounding over from here. You're going to take that knee through. You're going to just sit back again and take your self to the front, and we're going to come into Baddha Konasana from here. So bringing your soles of the feet together. So you don't need to bring them in too close. You might have a bit of space in between the legs. So we're going to allow ourselves to butterfly the legs. So you're going to just lift up your knees. And then as you breathe out, soften and release. So we're not forcing, it's more about releasing. Inhale to lift, exhale to release. We can speed it up a little bit, so it's this kind of movement from here, but we're not forcing at all. We're just starting to get a little bit of release into your hip joints from here. Really nice, keep nice and upright from here. And then soften and release, take a few moments to breathe. Those that, if it feels an option, you can take your hands a little bit further down onto the balls of the feet, and it was like you was opening up the pages of your foot. It just encourages your hips to release a bit more. And we can either stay here, or we can take a lovely fold forward. We can widen the elbows, and we can let your head release down from here. Stay there a few nice breaths, bringing some really good release into your hip joints. And that's really what the essence of yoga is. We're not forcing. We're just using our breath to release more. We're being mindful of how we move. Lifting all the way back up, support underneath the legs, and then coming back into your all fours. You're going to tuck your toes under, and then we'll move up into your downwards dog now. So take a moment to just gently walk out through the legs from here. Take some weight back towards the heels. And then if it's good, you're going to bend your right leg. You're going to lengthen that right leg out behind you. You can bend that right knee and drop that foot over towards that left buttock. So you can do exactly the same. If you're feeling it on the wrists, on your forearms and on your knees, you can do the same thing. You can allow yourself to make a few circles with your ankle while you're here. And then circling out in the other direction. Knee back to the centre. We're going to step that foot in between the hands. You're going to ground that back foot from here. So we press ourselves all the way up into a really nice warrior position. You're going to raise the arms. You want a nice V shape with your arms if you can today to get into the shoulders. Take a few breaths. Keep finding both feet onto the earth. And then releasing down. You can swivel on that back foot. You can go all the way back to downward dog, or you can allow yourself to go back to the all fours again and then through it. So the left leg is going to bend this time, and then your left leg is going to extend out. You're going to bend that left leg. You're going to open that knee out towards the side. You can drop that foot over towards that opposite, the right side. You're going to make a few circles with your ankle while you're here. And then circling out in that other direction. Then bring your knee back to the centre. You can step that foot in between the hands. You're going to ground your back foot, bring it down to the floor. Then we'll come all the way up into a warrior. So you can find your own way to come up as well, absolutely fine. You're going to lift up from here, so have a really nice lift up with the arms. Take a few nice breaths. We're not holding the poses too long today. We're just trying to get some really nice movement from here into all those joints. And then releasing down, you can step back again into downward dog. Couple of breaths. You're going to bring yourself back to the hands and the knees. Untuck the toes. Hands forward of your wrists forward from here, and just lower all the way down to the floor from here. And then we're going to work into Cobra or our Sphinx, and we'll do it. The ones that I really like doing is just bit by bit, so you're easing into the back. So you might be working in Sphinx pose, or you might be working today into your Cobra. We'll look down, we'll press into the feet, press the pelvis down. As we inhale, we're just lifting out a little way from here. And then as we breathe out, we'll start to slowly lower back down. As we inhale, we lift up. We can keep it the same or lifting up a tiny bit higher. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. Do two more. Inhale to lift up, maybe a bit higher this time. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. Last one. Inhale to lift up, maybe to your fullest expression of your pose today. And then breathing out, lower back down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back to the all fours. Tucking the toes under. Holding downward dog again for a couple of breaths. And then slowly come into stand. If it works, walking feet towards the hands. Hands on the hips, and then we're lifting up. We're coming all the way to standing from here. We're going to come into a nice releasing forward fold. So to separate your feet hip distance apart. Hands on the hips, you're going to soften the knees. You're going to start to hinge forward from here. You can fold onto the arms, soft knees, and just allowing yourself to sway gently from side to side. Really let the heads be nice and heavy. Feel that lovely softness around the knees. And then take some weight back to the centre. You can release the hands or folding the arms still. And take a moment to allowing yourself to bend your legs from here. And then inhaling, starting to lengthen them but not locking them out. So breathing out, softening the legs from here, giving them a nice bend. And then inhale, lengthening up. Do one more time, breathing out to soften your legs. And then inhale, lengthening back up. Hands on the hips will start to lift and we'll come all the way up to standing from here. Going to do a bit of work now to get into the joints from here. So trying to wake up all those joints to allow the energy to flow more freely. So the feet are going to just be a few inches apart is absolutely fine from here. We're going to allow ourselves, make sure you've got enough room to move the arms about from here. It's a soft knees. And you're just going to allow yourself to twist from side to side with your torso. Allowing the arms to really release. So the back of the hands are just starting to release onto the back. That's sideways. We'll do that a few more times. Feeling a really nice release from here. Just a couple more, getting some nice movement really as well into your shoulders. And then coming all the way back to the centre. Take your feet hip distance apart, hands on the hips. You're going to start to just send the hips forward, drawing back. So we're starting to draw circles with the hips from here. So you're going in one direction. So it's getting to any tight spots. You might notice there's a particular bit where you feel maybe a little bit of tightness. Just a couple more from here. And then reversing your action. Remember where you went. So we're going to go the other way from here. Nice movements into the hips. And then slowly coming back to the centre. Now make sure you've got room to reach the arms out from here. And then we're going to just start to lift the arms and draw some nice circles with the arms. So moving them back, opening them up, creating all lovely space. Notice how the shoulder joints are feeling. And then we'll take it the other way. So coming forward from here. Really nice movements to get into the shoulder joints from here. Couple more breaths. And then coming all the way back from here. So your feet can be a few inches apart. We'll lift up. We're going to move into a nice sides bend stretch. So over towards that right side. So right hand comes down, inhale. And as you breathe out, side bend stretch over towards that left side, right side. Inhale, come back to the centre. Breathing out, moving over towards that left side. Going to work a couple of more times from side to side. Inhale, breathing out towards that right side. Inhale to the centre, breathing out towards that left side. Last one. Inhale to the centre, breathing out towards that right side. Inhale to the centre, breathing out towards that left side. And then coming all the way back, palms lift together. Inhale, and as you breathe out, hands down towards the chest. We're going to open out our feet from here. So getting ready for a warrior position. So feet are facing forward first, hands on the hips. You're going to turn your right foot all the way out, left foot forward. Raising the arms from here. You're going to gaze towards that right side. Inhale, and as you breathe out, you're going to bend into that right leg from here. So we're going to inhale for a reverse warrior. Back hand comes down, raising that top arm. You can look up if it feels okay. And then breathing out back to that warrior. A couple more times. Inhale to lift up. And then exhale into that warrior. Inhale to lift up. Exhale into that warrior. Hold it there for a couple of breaths. Keep pressing into that back foot from here. And then hands on the hips, lengthen that leg, feet to the front. So we'll take it to the other side. Left foot turns out, right foot is forward. We're going to raise the arms from here. We're going to gaze towards that left side. Inhale, and as we breathe out, we're going to bend into that left leg. Going to inhale, back hand comes down, raise the arm for your reverse warrior. And then breathing out, back into that warrior toe. Inhale for a reverse warrior. And then breathing out into a warrior toe. One more time, inhale to lift up. And then exhale back into that warrior toe. Hands on the hips, going to slowly release from here. Feet to the front. And then heel toe or step your feet back together from here. So we're going to work into a nice sequence now with our chair, Utkatasana, and a forward fold. And we're going to think about really getting some softness as well into the wrists and our back of the knees from here. So we can separate the feet either hip distance apart or a few inches apart, your choice. Hands on the hips, we're going to sink back into our chair pose. So navel draws in. We're going to take a moment to lift the arms, and they might just be to the front, or we might be able to lift them a bit more. We might even be able to lift your wrists a bit more, the fingers up. So inhale, then as we breathe out, we're going to soften the knees as the arms start to come back from here. So we're going to inhale to lift up. We're going to work this a few times like this. And then breathing out, releasing from here. So inhale to come into our warrior. This time as you breathe out, you can interlock the fingers if it works and take the arms up and over. Inhale, if you're coming with that clasp, releasing the clasp, coming into warrior. And then breathing out, releasing into a forward fold. So go one more time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to release forward. We're going to stay in that forward bend for a few breaths. So if you've got your arms clasped, you can keep them clasped, either hands on that lower back or sweeping the arms up and over. Back of the hands can come to your back, releasing the hands. You know, inhale, you're going to, breathing out, soften the knees from here. Then inhale, start to lengthen into the legs. Breathing out, bending into the knees. And then inhale, lengthen in. Hands can come back to the hips and we'll lift up to come all the way back to standing. Shoulders nice and relaxed from here. So we're going to work into a balanced pose from here. So do be near the wall if you need a bit of extra support. Back of the wall if you want your hands, they're absolutely fine. So you're going to take all the weight onto your left foot and we're going to slowly start to lift your right leg from here. You're going to draw your knee in towards you. You're going to take your left hand onto your hip as you start to open out that knee from here. And then you're going to start to make some circles with your ankle from here. So getting some really nice space. You can take it further down. Circling in that other direction. Good, releasing that foot. We can bring it back. We can take a few moments to find our tree pose. Breathing up. You can open up your chest. Keep a really V shape with your arms today. And then breathing out, releasing the arms, let your foot come back down to the floor. Great for the hips. We'll take all the weight into your right foot. I'm going to do the same with the left foot. So you're going to draw that knee in towards the chest, spend a couple of breaths from here. And then your right hand is onto your hip. You're going to open out with that knee from here. You're going to allow yourself to make some circles with that ankle. So try and keep your hips pointing to the front if you can. And circling out in that other direction. And then from here, last couple of breaths, we're going to take it into our tree pose. You can take it further down if you need to. Raising the arms. Just widen the arms from here. Inhale. And then as you breathe out, slowly release the hands. You're going to bring that knee back from here. Foot to the floor. And then you're back to your mountain pose. Just stand for a few moments in mountain pose. You can separate the feet if you need to. And either closing the eyes or a very soft gaze. And thinking about how the ankles are feeling. Maybe you feel more space. Maybe you feel more contact with the earth underneath you. Thinking about your base with your legs and hips that are above. Thinking about a softness in the knees, so we're not locking out the knees, we're letting that energy run freely around the legs. Shoulders are softening down. Fingers are just releasing gently down towards the earth. Take a moment just to feel this stillness in your mountain pose. And then blinking the eyes open. We're going to come to the floor, so you can come to the front of your mat. Separate the feet if you need to. Inhale, raising the arms, and you can look up this time if it feels good. And then breathing out, softening the knees. You're going to start to hinge forward, coming into a forward fold, just letting your head release from here. You can inhale, so you're going to come up halfway from here. Spine lengthens. Then breathing out, softening and folding. And then from here, bending the legs, making yourself all the way down to the floor from here. And we're going to take our legs nice and wide from here. So you might wish to sit on a blanket or a block. I always say, if you're not sure, if you're in this position where you feel like you're going back, you want to be going forward. So a block or a blanket is going to help you from here. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. Try and maybe release a bit of flesh so that the sit bones, you feel more contact with the earth. And you can be nice and lifted from here. So we're going to take a really nice side bend stretch. So a nice release for the hips from here. We're going to, not side bend stretch, we're going to take a forward fold. You're going to take your hands either side of that right leg and try and encourage as much of your chest to move over that centre of that leg. Nice and lifted. Inhale, and as you breathe out, you're going to start to go forward. You can either take the hands onto the legs or hands over from here. Just soften for a few breaths. And then inhale, lifting up, coming all the way back up. We'll do the same on that other side. So hands either side of that leg and try to take as much of your centre of the chest over. Inhale, and as you breathe out, we're going to go over towards that leg from here. Releasing, allowing your head to release. And slowly inhaling, coming all the way back from here. We're going to take it into a side bend stretch now. So that inside of that arm goes onto that inside of that leg. You can take your left hand onto the hip. Revolve open that shoulder. Take a nice inhale to lift up. And as you breathe out, we can take that arm up and over from here. Try to, if you can, press back into your left sit bone. And today you might think about keeping a really nice space, so we're not going down too low, between each hand. So the shoulder stays nice and soft, but the chest starts to open a bit more. And then inhale, come back to the centre. We'll go the other side, so exhaling left Inside of the arm comes there, your right hand comes on top. You evolving, open that shoulder. Inhale, and as you breathe out, we're taking that arm up and over. Try to think about a nice distance today between the hand and the foot. Nice soft shoulder, stretching into that side of the body, getting a good stretch from here. And then coming all the way back from here. You're going to support under the legs so that you can bring your legs back from here. And you're going to take your feet hip distance apart. And you can take your hands behind you. You can have your fingers pointing in if that works, or out to sides is fine. What you're going to do is just drop your knees to one side in the hips. And then inhale, come back to the centre. Breathing out over towards that left side. Inhale, come back to the centre. Go one more either side. Back to the centre. And then breathing out over towards that left side. Back to the centre. You're going to bring yourself up. You're going to roll yourself down to the floor. Just add a little bit of core while we're here. So feet hip distance apart. Draw into the navel. Keep reaching with the arms. Keep drawing back. And start to slowly roll down. If you can, keep drawing into that navel. If it's not good for the back, then find your own way to come down. Coming all the way down, knees in towards the chest, having a gentle rock from side to side. Hands behind the back of the legs. I'm going to lengthen up your legs from here. If it's appropriate, allowing yourself to raise the arms up, but try to drop back into the shoulders. And then we're just going to make some circles with your wrists and your ankles. Last bit of space into those joints. And then circling in that other direction. And if it works, just giving them a shake. So shaking the ankles, shaking the legs, shaking, just feeling that energy just moving down the wrists, down the ankles. And then just pause in that stillness for a few breaths. Just soften the knees slightly. A couple of breaths. We're going to bring yourself into happy baby pose. So draw your knees down towards the sides of the chest, holding onto the outside or the inside of the legs, and then just slowly rocking from side to side. So just getting a nice release into your spine. Nice long, slow breaths. And then slowly releasing. And we're going to finish off in your Shavasana. So bringing your feet to the floor. You can either extend out with your legs or keep your legs bent. And take the arms out to the side. Nice soft shoulders from here. So if your legs are extended, you want to think about just really feeling the ankles that are just releasing out towards the side. So your legs are nice, as wide, maybe as wide as your mat from here. And if you can, let your hands move away from the body so you feel nice space from here. Letting your shoulders relax, thinking about relaxing into the fingers. And just softening your eyes, soft gaze, or closing the eyes if you are comfortable to do so. And then bring yourself back into the body again. Just notice the contact of the body with the earth. And really just give up your weight to the earth right now. Feel that feeling of surrendering and letting go. Feeling all that space that you've created in the joints today of the body. Feeling that we've created this opportunity for the energy, the prana that we draw into us, allowing it to flow more freely. And just be here for a few more moments, just pausing and softening. Just really dropping into that stillness. So begin to focus on your breath again, and let every breath become just a little bit more fuller until over the next few rounds of breath you really start to feel really full and alive with this breath and the energy that's behind the breath. Just feel it in the body. Feel that every cell of the body is receiving this energy and this breath right now. Right down to the toes and the hands and the crown of the head. And then wriggle the fingers, wriggle the toes. Just have a really nice stretch out from here. Take a moment just to stretch. Press your heels away, spread the toes. And then bend your knees, draw the knees in towards the chest. Have a rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, roll over to the right side. And slowly ease your way up into a seated position. And then just pause here for a moment. Just notice what you're feeling like from that stillness. Let your palms of your hands face up towards the sky. Let them move away from the knees. They're slightly hovering away from the knees. Feeling maybe any energy that you've created. Maybe feeling it with the hands with warmth and heat. We're going to take a very slow inhale, and as we do so, we're going to draw the hands up, sending any positive energy that we've created out to anyone who needs it right now, out to the world. And then drawing your hands above the head, take an inhale, gently pressing the palms together. And then exhaling, slowly guiding your hands back down towards your heart. Seal the practice by softly bowing your head down, connecting the mind to the body and the spirit. Let your eyes gently blink open. And as you inhale, lifting your head, lifting your heart. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that you feel more free in the joints. Have a great week, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.